A lot of people ask me if I was a gearhead prior to this. And I said, you know, there's a word that I used to have a hell of a time with. I didn't know anything about engines, or when I bought my first car, the starter solenoid blew up. And I had to think, every time I said solenoid, I had to think about it. It was stuck in my mind. I don't know anything about anything. So it was really brand new.
Well, I remember it quite well. It was May 7th of 1987 when Don Reynolds drove down my street. He only lived 2 blocks away from me. And he goes, hey, is anybody looking for a job? And I used to roof and I hated it. And I go, I am. And he handed me his business card and he goes, come down and see me tomorrow, I'll get you a job. And that's how I started, May 11th, 1987.
When I applied here, I was just like, oh, it's another small engine shop. Let's probably work for the summer. Let's see how this goes. Lo and behold, here I am 16 years later, managed 2 different departments and love every aspect of this job.
Computers were just starting to come out, and it was kind of like, oh, we can do this better than a computer can. And in like our parts department, every time we would sell a certain part, we would have to go into a paper file, pull it out, erase it. We sold 2, -2, and that's how we kept our inventory.
Bob is very meticulous. We had a card file for our inventory before computers. We had this card file, and every night Bob's in there pulling cards, saying, oh, we sold 1 of those, so minus, so it was 7, and we'll get 5 of them, put it back in inventory control, and he would laugh. I still have that tub.
The business was extremely small back then. There were 7 of us. It was hard back then. It was rundown office, no air conditioning. It was kind of tough, but we kept going through the years and kept building and building to considerably more employees, and moved into the building at Anderson Equipment had on 56th and Center. Major improvement.
I don't know if I really grasped the entire vision of what it was. I mean, I knew that he sold lawnmowers and things like that. We would go to the office all the time and help with paperwork and file things and make labels for folders at the end of the year and things like that. I remember mostly just kind of tinkering around and talking to people and probably being more of a pain than anything.
Everything we did in the past was simple, very few wires, very few sensors. Now it's everything's got a sensor. Got to have a laptop to do things now versus just turn the key and go.
We went to Tier 4. There's a lot of new requirements and things of that nature that it really would have been difficult if there wasn't an engineering team, between mechanical and electrical engineers working together to figure out how everything interacts.
So we've really been a family-owned company since 1988. And I think that's also had a significant impact on the way that business has gotten run and some of the decisions that get made day to day. It's very different being a family-owned company versus being having split ownership with different parties involved.
Doug, Emily, and Zach came down. They met with us, and then of course we went to Omaha for interviews, and they made it feel very comfortable. I like Doug right off the bat. At first you're a little intimidated, but then when you're intimidated because this is gonna be your new boss, so you gotta impress them. You didn't want to cuss, you didn't want to say the wrong thing. Within the day, you knew all bets were off with Doug.
Selling the company to Anderson Industrial Engines. I said, oh, okay. I said, that's all of it's going there, so Kohler, everything? He says, no, Kohler's going to go to PES. Okay, how's this going to work for all of us? We were all quite nervous, but Jim Hess, being the person that he was, he wanted to make sure where we landed, we were going to land in a really good position or a really good company. And I got to say, the Turners and Anderson Industrial Engines it's been a great road.
Making the decision to acquire Kansas City Power Products and to acquire HD Makelum are probably 2 of the biggest decisions we've ever made as a company. Those were decisions that were a source of much discussion and thought before they happened. and were probably the two biggest decisions that shaped the way the company looks today.
I think I would like to see for the future of AIE just to continue to grow and operate in a manner that everybody can go home at night and be proud of themselves. To me, it's not a dollar amount, it's not a head count. I think as long as we continue to operate a business that people can be proud to work for, that's important to me.
That a lot of the things we're doing now and the investments we're doing now will not pay off for a long time. They will not be profitable activities for years to come. And so I really feel like we're in a great position to be making those investments and bringing new products, bringing new ideas, and kind of dragging some of our customers along with us to show them what can be done if we kind of change the way that we think about, the power required to do a specific job.
Been kind of amazing because Doug's line was, I never want to get big. I like this small stuff. And then seeing how big we are now and seeing how he's changed in it too, it's just neat to see that he's happy with where everything's going, and I'm happy too because we're all over the country now.
The people around here, I think, we're trying to think of what's best to serve our customers and to, help out AIE itself. It's got to be, what we're doing, it's got to work for everybody.
We're 50 years old. Look what we've accomplished. We had an old metal building with a house that Doug used to stay in. That was his office with no dock. Now look at it where we're at, I mean, we got 3 businesses: Kansas, Nebraska, California, Las Vegas. I mean, it's just crazy, and I think we're just going to keep rolling strong.
Leadership team, management team, sales, marketing, engineering, all the way down to production and service. It's a phenomenal place, and everybody's working to make it better.
I would like to say thank you. I mean, without the customers, I wouldn't be here. Without Kansas City Power Products and AIE, I wouldn't be here. And working with such great people through my soon-to-be 42 years has been amazing. I've met a lot of people, made a lot of friends.
In my opinion, we're the driving example today as to what distributorship should be, and I think the rest of the United States is watching us as an example.
And I'm very proud of my team for how much pride they have in the work they do as well, making sure that every product that passes off of the lines through the test area is something that a customer is going to enjoy for years to come.
Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for bearing with us through the rough times. We wouldn't be where we are without some bumps on the roads as well. So thank you for allowing us to do what we do best, what we've learned to do best over the last 50 years.
In some of the more challenging moments as a business owner, we often say, I know that this is a challenge that's in front of us and it feels like it's emotionally draining, but look where we were 3 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. And the pace of change and advancement that we've been on, this trajectory we've been on, has been really amazing. And so rewinding the clock is kind of an eye-opening experience. And I think just reflecting on that journey as a company, and as a distributor, and as individual employees, and even our vendors and customers, that where they've come over the last 50 years is really where I'd like people to kind of focus. And if that doesn't get you excited for the next 50 years, then maybe you weren't paying attention. But if you look at where we've come from for over the last 50 years, just think about where we'll be 50 years from now.